Star Wars fans are extremely familiar with the heart-wrenching scene in Revenge of the Sith, depicting a newly anointed Darth Vader eliminating all of the younglings at the Jedi Temple. But what if fate had written a different story? On today's episode of What If, we will look at what would have happened if the younglings managed to defeat Darth Vader on that fateful day. Darth Vader entered the High Council chamber and saw the faces of frightened younglings. Source Bandium approaches who he mistakenly believes to be a Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker and says, "Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?" Vader ignites his lightsaber in response, stunning the young Source Bandium. Relishing the fear displayed on the face of young Source, Vader decided to kill him last. Vader then strikes through the younglings on his right side, eliminating them with one nearly masterful stroke. This left only 3 younglings remaining. Vader went to strike down one of them, but Source Bandium had regained his composure and stepped in front of Vader, deflecting the blow. This enraged Vader, who picked up Source with the Force and pushed him across to the other side of the room. Now only facing 2 terrified younglings, Vader took a moment to say, "Worry not, younglings. You will see all of your masters again soon." As he raised his saber to strike down the 2 remaining younglings, a blue saber emerged through the center of his chest. A look of confusion, pain, and regret flooded Vader's face as he crumpled to the floor, lifeless. Standing behind Vader with his lightsaber ignited was Source Bandium, his eyes now a fiery yellow hue. As Vader died, his spirit filled the 3 younglings in the room, fueled by fear, pain, anger, and hatred towards the Jedi Council who allowed all of this to happen. The surviving younglings knew what they had to do. The 3 younglings stacked themselves on each other's shoulders, with Source Bandium taking the top position. Then they wrapped themselves in Darth Vader's robes, concealing the bottom 2 younglings. They balanced themselves and communicated to each other through the Force as if they were one body under the control of Source. Then they went out to test their new dark side powers on the remaining Jedi left in the temple. With their power combined into one spirit, the dark side trio of younglings made quick work of any Jedi that they found. With the spirit of Vader coursing through them, Source Bandium reached out to Darth Sidious through the Force and told him the Jedi Temple had been cleared. Sidious, sensing that the spirit of Vader had grown much stronger, was extremely pleased, and ordered who he thought was Vader to Mustafar to deal with the Separatists. After eliminating the Separatists on Mustafar, Source Bandium could sense the presence of Obi-Wan approaching, and his anger grew. Source and his 2 supporting younglings began to prepare for the fight. The battle between Obi-Wan and the Sith younglings, united through Vader's spirit, took place exactly as it would have if Obi-Wan was fighting Vader himself, except for one small but pivotal difference. As their battle approached its conclusion, Obi-Wan looked down at Source in a river of lava from atop a hill and proclaimed, "It's over, Source. I have the high ground." Source then replied, "You underestimate our power." Then Source and the other 2 younglings channeled all of their Force power into a single leap over Obi-Wan's head. Then Obi-Wan slashed his saber through the robes of his former Padawan, but felt no resistance. At the last moment, the 3 younglings separated and leapt out of Anakin's robes, surrounding Obi-Wan and plunging their sabers into his torso. They took Obi-Wan's robe and lightsaber, then they kicked him down the hill towards the lava. As an extremely pleased Darth Sidious approached in his ship, the 3 younglings devised a plan to eliminate their new master and take over rule of the galaxy. They set up their plan and waited at the location where Sidious would land. Darth Sidious walked off of his ship, to see a kneeling Lord Vader with his head down and his arms outstretched, holding a bundle of Obi-Wan's robes with Obi-Wan's lightsaber resting on top. Sidious laughed maniacally and said, "Good, Lord Vader, very good." And as he approached his kneeling apprentice, he reached out to claim the trophy of the fallen Jedi. But Sor's Bandium sprung out of the bundled robes, which were being held by the other two younglings, and pierced Sidious through the chest with his lightsaber, claiming the throne and proclaiming himself the new leader of the Sith, dubbing himself Darth Triangulus. This turn of events would begin the Sith Rule of 3 under Darth Triangulus, where every Sith master and apprentice must be formed by a trio of powerful dark side users who shared one spirit and stood on each other's shoulders, with the most dominant of the Sith taking the top position and commanding the two on the bottom. Darth Triangulus created a new Sith ritual that would completely bend the will of the middle and bottom portion to the desires of the top controlling portion. It also ensured that the very strongest would be in control over the three bodies, as the other two Sith would have to comply to the ritual out of fear of their lives. This change also helped stimulate the economy, sending the demand of trench coats skyrocketing. The Rule of 3 implemented by Darth Triangulus would allow the Sith to rule the galaxy for the next millennium. But what do you guys think? Would Darth Vader have been more powerful piloting the bodies of two younglings instead of his animatronic suit? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.